Hi, I'm Michael Patterson, and we've been talking about better brains by design, how you can actually design your brain to get better over the course of your life around three really important domains: your health, your self, meaning your self-development, and then also how you relate to others. So health, self, and others. And we've been focusing on building strategic plans, making the point that it's one thing to know what to do, but unless you really design a strategic plan that is customized for yourself, for your particular circumstances, for your personality, for your conditions in terms of health, self, and others, it's hard to really get to where you're moving the plasticity of your brain to where you're building a better brain. But if you know what you're doing and really sort of target it, you can leverage the plasticity and really start to change your brain for the future. One of the important areas, and this is what I really want to focus on in this session, is motivation, which really is almost the first step in any of this, is getting motivated to want to make change. I hope everybody is motivated with the idea that our brains can always get better if we sort of do the right things, unless some catastrophe happens, of course. But we should be motivated to want to have better brains no matter what age we are. And we now have the science where we can begin to say, okay, we really sort of know how to do this. So that motivation should be there. But then when you get into specifics about the specific strategy that you're working on, you might decide, for example, that, well, I don't really eat as well as I should eat. My diet needs improvement. Your motivation to change that may not be particularly strong. One of the things that we've learned about motivation, and this is a point that I want to take in, researchers, there are two researchers, Deci and Ryan, who have really studied motivation a lot, and they identify specific stages of motivation. When people look at motivation, they talk about the difference between intrinsic motivation, meaning it comes from ourselves, and extrinsic motivation. And that's really when somebody else is telling you, you should be doing this. Your boss, your teacher, your spouse is saying, you need to get your act together. And you think, oh, okay, in order to keep you happy, in order to get the grades, in order whatever it is, I will do it. That's extrinsic. Intrinsic means you're coming at it for yourself. The other way that it's described is kind of whether it's carrot or a stick. If you're a stubborn mule that needs to be shoved forward, you can either, your rider can either dangle a carrot in front of you and sort of encourage you positively, or stand behind you and beat you with a stick and hope that the mule moves forward. The research, as you would expect, has found that the carrot is a lot more effective than the stick in terms of motivating people and keeping people motivated. So when you're working on a strategy, one of the things that we work on, we have a little box on each strategy worksheet that talks about motivation, and it goes through 5 or 6 different levels of motivation that move from extrinsic on the one end, where you're being told to do it, you're not really invested in it, all the way to intrinsic, where you're actually gotten to a point where you're doing the activity because you like it, because it's fun, because you're finding inherent joy. We don't expect everybody to enter at that level. You need to enter sort of any of these activities on your strategic plan where you find yourself motivated, and go with that motivation. But part of the whole strategic plan and working that strategy is working on your own motivation. So if you're deciding you need to eat better lunches, initially you may be forcing yourself to have a salad rather than to eat the cheeseburger and French fries or whatever. As you get more into that, then you might say, well, I'm getting okay with the idea that I'm a salad for lunch kind of guy, as opposed to a cheeseburger. So you begin to move a little bit further. And then you may actually decide, you know, salads can be pretty good. I want to learn how to make salads that are even better, and I'm going to make my own salad dressing. It's moving you further to the point where you're looking forward to having a salad at lunch because it just tastes so good and you feel healthy. So working your motivation is an important part of this whole strategic plan, and it's part of what we lay out in our books, on Better Brains by Design, in our seminars, and so on. But very important is to know where you are in your motivational continuum and keep moving it forward.